the days I wake up and I just miss my daughter. I have a daughter now, I have a son, but I just miss my daughter because they can only be one.
Of course.
So you just miss them intensely, and you wake up and you either cry or you just have a gloomy day. I was not happy with my body. I was very, like, with all the comments that people would make online. Mtu anakuja kupiga na picha. Lakini kumbe wewe unakuanga mbigi hivi.
Yeah. But how much did you spend on this?
So it's a range. You can either from 900,000 to 1.5. Yeah.
You mentioned about forgiving yourself.
Right.
Have you forgiven your ex for whatever?
I forgave my ex a long time ago. I am not one to hold something over somebody.
Are we going to hear any wedding bells this year? Yes or no?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You will say this?
Yes.
Wow.
This year definitely.
Definitely.
Yes.
Hello and welcome. My name is Yvonne Kawira, and on today's episode of Candid with Yvonne, I bring to you an interesting guest. This is how he describes himself. He says he is undefined, he's a strategist, a consultant, and a media personality. But I describe him as a bold human being. Wow. This man owns his truth. With all the challenges that life throws at him, he owns it and works with it with so much zeal and honesty. Welcome to the show, Candid.
Asante, wow, what the introduction. Asante sana. Thank you very much for the kind words.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be on the other side of the table? You're used to hosting people today.
It feels like niko na an exam.
Ala.
Sasa lazima ujue ni nini unasema.
Nini nataka kujua.
Vipi? Na ni nini haswa? Unataka kujikoza in a place where wewe ni the interviewer and ndio umebrief the interviewee of the questions, but then at some point there you throw them a curveball.
Of course, that's expected.
Yes.
All right. Did you know you always wanted to be a journalist, and how was life like for you growing up?
I grew up with a very strict father. My father was a provincial administrator. He was a DC, then a PC. So life was good. I mean, he worked very hard to make sure that we have a good life. I grew up surrounded by systems, watching how government operates, hearing late night conversations.
Have you always wanted to be on TV, or have you tried a hand in maybe print journalism and all that?
Hey, I do, and shout out to all the people in print journalism, but I never wanted to do print journalism. I always wanted to be on TV. From when I was 7 years old, I would watch news and tell my mom one day I'll be on TV.
Ulienda paje Citizen ama uliingiaje kwa media?
Well, okay, so I started in Moi University. We used to have a small station, 5-kilometer radius called MUFM. And there was a time when people, for a long time, 2006, 7, 8, the stories that were told at Moi University, apart from Alex Chamwada and Francis Gashuri, was that, people are doing well in print. So attachments would be the Oxfords, Longhorn. Very few people are thinking about TV. But one day Alex Chamwada came and gave us a candid talk about media and talked about how you won't have a life and you just have to give yourself to the job if you want to be a journalist. And then I took his contact and I told him I would like to be a Citizen. So he gave me an email and we emailed. By the time I was finishing my final paper and I was calling her, she's called Raburu. They had already done intern interviews. So it was myself and Anders Ihachi. So we were asking to be on Citizen, to be interns. She had a job. So when we called her, she said, no, I'm sorry. Because you can imagine this is some guy from Eldoret calling you at Nilipewa number, you are busy, it's like 3. So we called again and we called again and we called again. So she was finally now on the road going home. Because this is from 3 to around 5:30, we are still calling. So she's calling, she's like, have you even left the office? What is it you want? I'm like, we just want a chance to be on Citizen. That's it. We are from Eldoret. Yeah. So she said, you come to Citizen tomorrow. You be there at 8. Tukaingia kwa matatu ya usiku. We traveled overnight, we came to Nairobi. By the time we were getting here, it was like 5 in the morning, 4:35. So tukakaa tu kwa station, tukaenda hapo, tukanywa mineral water, tukaosha uso. When we go to 8 sharp, We got to the gate and said, "We are here to see Mercy." She was called. We went in. So she looked at me. Then she said, "Do you have anything for me?" We didn't have our CV. We got 1 page, and then we had done we used to write a magazine called Eyes and Ears. So we gave that to her as like proof of what we can do. And she said, "Cool, we'll communicate. If we don't call you, we have communicated." Then she walked away. That was the interview. Hapo tuko reception. Sasa tukakaa tukasema, "Guys, sasa
that's it.
What's this?" Yeah. Then after that, she 2 days later we were called by the HR and told to come and start interning. Because that was like on a Monday. We were called on Wednesday and told to report on Monday. Yeah, that's how we joined Citizen. That was April of 2010. And then it's supposed to be 3 months, but you know, we worked to define everything. I talked to people, I asked questions about what needs to be done. Hussein Mohammed, Michael Njenga, Johnson Mwakazi, Duncan Hemba, who is now in KTN, really helped me a lot. Sylvia Chebet, they were really helpful. And we were just doing things that my goal was to do extraordinary things. So they say interns are not allowed to do 9 o'clock stories. I question why, and I try as much as I can to do those 9 o'clock stories. If they say interns can't do features, I was like, why? Why is that rule there? I go interns can't travel, you know, there's no security, blah, 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 you're not an official employee. I'm like, I break that and I write a proposal and I go and travel. And that's actually one of my stories I did on Masai Rights of Passage, is one that after I think I did it, and then they noticed now I have a skill. They told us to extend our internship a bit. Still not getting paid, but extend the internship a bit until about August. And then I was one day chilling in the meeting, sitting at the back using my phone, and then I just had, and that's why we want to give this Willis a job.
Wow.
I was like, wait, what?
And that's how you got
that's how I got, yeah, Peter Opondo and Farida Karone. Decided this young man deserves a shot. So after a while I went and did an interview, and then I signed my contract. My contract officially says October 2010. So October this year will be 13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
Okay, when you're in the limelight, as you are, there are a lot of things that you face on a daily basis.
Right.
For example, when you're going through challenges, even like, you know, in your personal life, all those things are displayed out there. How do you handle that? For example, when your marriage ended, how did you handle that? Well,
I'd say that when you're in the limelight, you live in an aquarium.
Yep.
So you see how if the fish pee, I don't know if fish pee, but if the fish pees or poops or eats or sleeps, you can tell because the world is watching. Like for when I went through my divorce, I knew that it's going to be, I just didn't know it's going to happen as fast. I didn't know that people will get the information that fast, but somehow they did. From where, it's a story for another day. But yeah, so I knew that somehow it's going to be out there, so I was psychologically prepared. And I needed to guard my space. Sure. So during that time, I changed my phone number, and I deleted all apps. Like even WhatsApp, I wasn't on WhatsApp. So you know, sometimes you can want to chill and then umeona hii, and they send you the link on WhatsApp. So it doesn't, yes, umetoka kwa social media, but they bring social media to you. So I deleted WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, Telegram, everything. I was only on iMessage and email. So and then which was difficult because you see, like most of the stuff in the office, people, you know, you're chatting in the group, you come up with ideas, you know, there's a poster you want to send to an artist. So now you can't. Artist anakuambia nikutumia wapi? Tuma kwa email. They're like, email. So I had to now get my producer, at least for work. They send it. I give them the number of the producer. Yeah. It helped me realize who are my real, genuine friends, and our pity at 5. And those are the guys who used to come and check on me every day. They would alternate. I have 3 specific, 2 specific people, which is one John Gitao, aka Pablo Johnny, and Gideon Zuki, who used to come and they alternate. Huyu anakuja pitia leo, and then Ivan John Jalas. Yes, so they used to alternate and come and check on me.
Okay. When you talk about forgiving yourself,
right,
and you know, moving forward, because of course you decided to move forward,
Right.
and start a new relationship and a family. How was that like for you transitioning, and has your previous marriage influenced the decisions that you make in this current marriage?
Well, I've definitely learned a lot
from
my previous marriage. What I will say, if you're a man, is contrary to popular belief, you really have to be patient with yourself, and you really have to be open with somebody if you're starting a new relationship as to where you're at, and then that person will tell you, are they willing to go on with you there, because there is no way you can go through a divorce and it doesn't not really affect, but it doesn't, parts of it doesn't linger still, you know, because this person you are dating, ideally over time will be your friend, or is supposed to be your friend before now you get, you know, intimate, you see. And so they need to be in a space where you can tell them, leo nimeamka nimepata, I'm feeling pissed off because of what I went through, or I'm feeling depressed because I went through, and this is the mood I'm in today. Or that thing you said, it might be that you're actually in that state, but the way you said it, it's a trigger for me. So then you interrogate. So if nimeambia hiki kitu mara mbili, is it a me problem, or is it just me allowing the situation to trigger me?
In short, you can't blame on someone who didn't hurt you.
Exactly, yeah. Lazima maintain kila mtu ako fresh.
Sure.
And then there are those moments where you'll always just, you know, there's a time when you have, the thing about grief is it really doesn't go away per se, especially loss of like that, my daughter, you know, it doesn't go away, but there are days when you wake up and you're just, you know, and it happens to me even now, the days I wake up and I just miss my daughter. I have a daughter now, I have a son, but I just miss my daughter because there can only be one.
Of course.
So you just miss them intensely, and you wake up and you either cry or you just have a gloomy day. And then because of that, you miss other people as well. Like, so I lost my friend last year called Cliff. So you miss, now it becomes like
it's a whole chain.
Yes, a whole chain of people you miss, and then the day is just... Yeah.
You've gone through all these challenges publicly, including your weight loss journey.
Yes.
At what point did you decide, now I want to shed it, and did you try other avenues before eventually deciding surgery is an option?
Yeah, I tried gymming for, I think, close to what? Is it 5? Because I still get Facebook reminders. Uko 5 years, nini. Unaona bado nimevaa hapo gym attire. Yo, let's break a sweat. Trey Songz Body by June.
Why?
Yeah, Trey Songz amendelea tu nini, but because I had very good trainers, but they shout out to Evelyn, who was my very first trainer, who happens to be my cousin, Eval Health and Fitness. All trainers will give you some sort of break so that you kind of reset. And you've been on a strict diet. So for me, when I would just nitoke to your diet kidogo, nianze kukula tu kama mtu normal, wa kawaida. Hapo ndo shida sasa. Bandika bakamelua. Shida zinaniandama tu. I am back like I never left. Because before I would eat, say, 4 teaspoons of rice and 150 grams of... Yeah, because you have to eat like 40 or so grams.
Wow.
Because the aim is to have a caloric deficit. I also got I have a lot of knowledge
in diet.
in diet. So you have to have a caloric deficit in terms of the calories that you consume during the day, and the calories you need, there must be a difference. So if you have that deficit, then the body will look elsewhere for energy. And the alternative is fat. So then it burns the fat and you lose weight. But sasa, unajua ukitoka kwa 4 spoons
urudi pale
alafu ufinye tu kawaida tu kama mhundu strong, itakuwa ni shida. So then I would get the weight, and for me it was carbohydrates and sugar. That were my biggest problems. But for me, then I started asking myself, Sasa, yani I have to eat this for tablespoons my entire life. It doesn't look like it's a sustainable thing. It looks like it's punishment. We should eat. Man must eat and eat well. So there was that back and forth. I gain, I lose. Then 2019, 2020, after I lost my daughter, and I stress eat a lot, so I just spiraled. Now that one, I was like, you'll put a bleep of the world and forget everybody, God doesn't exist, my life doesn't have meaning, so I'm just going to do what it is. Yani mimi ndo nachora maisha yangu nikienda. If you don't like it, sayonara. If you like it, whatever. So I would stress eat, and I would notice, you sit down, you stand up, you feel, hey, na leo nime struggle kusimama, but you're like, it's whatever. Order that fried chicken, tukule, tukiona nini, you eat, you take pictures, you tell yourself, yes, watu wakubwa ndo wako na pesa hii town. Unafinya, kwani Bazu watakuwa ni nani kama si mimi? But then, as that happens, you see those things you tell yourself, but then there's reality. You start not fitting in clothes, you start getting comments. I was not happy with my body. I was very, like, with all the comments that people would make online. Mtu anakuja kupiga na picha, lakini kumbe unakuanga mbigi hivi. Kenya, by the way, have a very weird, I don't know what it is, and I think it's from our parents, where we get that thing of, because the parents will also tell you, umenona outright, they hawana filter, ama unafaa kukula, umekonda, both is body shaming. Yeah, but then now after I started thinking about bariatric surgery, actually I started talking to now my doctor, Dr. Theo, about it, because I also went to him and he prescribed to me some cholesterol medicine. I think there's a time, he knows how to describe it better, but I had something like almost like a fat hernia, sort of like on my belly, like it had stretched so much, so like the fat ilikuwa nataka kuchoma. And he was like, you need to manage this. And we have a joke because, so at his place, Precise Healthcare, where I still go for checkup, he used to have a certain weighing scale. So nikipanda ilikuwa inaishanga. So he got a new one. So he used to tell me, Sasa, don't worry, come, let's see the reality. Don't be afraid of this. Like, before I stepped on that weighing scale, he really had to talk me through. Because I'm like, doc, hii ingine ishafika 120. So tunapanda hapo kufanya nini? Like, you're trying to tell me, like, because if you don't see the actual weight in your mind, you're like, niko between, so since nimemaliza 120, niko between 120, niko juu ya 120. Mimi niko over 120 kgs. You don't really know the figure. So nikasema kwa hiyo stuff. At that time ikaenda, I think it was 151, 154 at the time. So he talked to me about bariatric surgery and what needs to be done and the options that are available, because it was my first ever consult. I thought it's going to be like kukatwa, like a CS. But then it was laparoscopic, so just 5 incisions, about 1 centimeter, and then they do the stuff. So I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know, give me time to think. But as I was thinking, nilikuwa around 150. Naendelea tu. Nikapanda to 151, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. By the time I was doing the surgery, it was 164 kgs. And I look back at that picture, and then I really appreciate my friends, first of all. I appreciate my fiance, because I look at myself now and then I'm like, yani you guys, nilikuwa nakaa hivi na mnanipenda tu, you're chilling, you're vibing, nini. And none of them would ever remotely take, first of all, anybody body shaming me, or even me talking bad about myself. And that's something that I learned.
How was the whole process of like surgery and recovery from that? How was it, especially when it came to healthcare, but at home? Because at some point you had to have nurses come to your home to help you recover.
So it was such a mental hurdle for me. Like, to realize that you have to, yes, you'll get better, the body is, readjusting it, see, but to will yourself to get there. Usijione huruma and all that stuff. Because I was eating like the same stuff my son was eating, because you have to eat like mashed or pureed foods after the surgery.
For how long?
For a month.
Okay.
So as they're blending for my son, for Willis as well. And then they went to small, up to today I don't eat mashed potatoes. I have
because
PTSD. I'm like, I don't know. It just reminds me of that moment. There's a day ilipikwa nyumbani, nikaenda hivi finally nikasema to, okay people, mimi na sitaki kula hii stuff. Sitawadanganya. It reminds me of the days I was an invalid. So none of that. Mukipika, please cook me an alternative. So you really have to will yourself, and you have to learn to give yourself time to listen to your body. For me, one of the most painful things was like, so you can't lift, I think, any heavy stuff. My son at that time was 10 kg, so I couldn't be like, when he runs to you, you can't pick him up. So most likely somebody will have to pick him up and put him on my lap. And then, he's a boy, so he panda, and you have wounds here. So you have to kind of put him on the side. Him is anashanga, man, this is not how we used to play, Daddy. We used to do wrestling. We would do all these things. So he's crying, he's on the WhatsApp. So
it was a lot.
It was a lot. But I think because as you will yourself to do it, as you keep taking your supplements and following the rules that the doctors put in terms of the amount you can take, number of times you can take, even for water and liquids, and what type, because in the beginning you also don't want to take so much spicy food and all that. It really taught me to, first of all, be disciplined, and to be careful and to listen to your body.
What did the surgery do? Did they remove part of the stomach?
They cut it in half. Okay, I know it sounds a bit drastic, but they cut it in half. So this one remains. This other one is it? It's stitched. Okay. So if this is your stomach, they do this. And this is not the main one that gets the food. The food, Sasa. This one is left for absorption, which you have to be careful because and I'll explain why. So yes, then after that they bypass the small intestine, but the doctor will say, and then they attach the large intestine, and you're easy.
So for example, the mini bypass gastric surgery, it works by reducing the volume of the stomach. So part of the stomach is bypassed. We have the GIT system from the tumbo to the midomo all the way down there. Yeah. So it slightly reroutes the part of the food so that the food goes through a smaller section of the stomach, so you take less. So that is number one how it works. You ingest less. So if you're taking maybe say 5 chapatis, you won't be able to take 5 as you used to do. The appetite will still be there, but you will not take as much because now you have less to contain. And then the other thing, it bypasses part of the small intestines. Absorption of food happens in the small intestines. So when you bypass part of the small intestines, it means you absorb less. So you consume less, you absorb less. So over time, you're able to lose weight gradually because of less volume of intake and less absorption from food.
Does it restrict you from eating certain foods? Okay, you said about craving, but after 1 month, are you
so after 1 month, you slowly get into solid foods. Okay. And you remember the thing they used to tell us in school, wise you choose 35 and 52 times. Now you have to do that. If you have a piece of meat, you can't just umemeza. You have to chew it and chew it and chew it and chew it because your stomach is still healing. You can't eat things like sugar haraka, because again absorption is really fast, so you can't eat like a cake. There's a time I ate a cake and then flavored milk. You feel nausea, you feel, so you have to really, just like a baby's, like a baby, they go through weaning, you have to take yourself pole. You eat things in moderation, there's portions as well. If you feel there's so I was told, ukisikia ni kama like unafanya hivi, like some sort of pressure, if you feel some pressure, that's a signal for you to stop. Then you take water after, because again, remember, your stomach is smaller. So if you're eating and drinking, utashiba but haujashiba. So you have to wait. The good thing about the bariatric surgery is that it kind of watches the portions for you. You can't just put a certain level. Hata ukijaribu. Nilikuwa nakula chapo ngapi? 2 zile za kukata. So unakata, then after a while you realize, there is more beans than the chapati. I had one more. And then after I finish, I'm like, okay, I'm full. But there's still chapati there. So I used to take soda and chapati. Kuzindikisha sasa. So zinakuwa ngapi? Yote tuasema 5 tena. Then I used to eat like 6 to 8 chicken pieces from the fried chicken places.
Oh my goodness.
These days I do 1.5 is a wrap. That's it. Chapati, even finishing 1 is a struggle.
Looking back, would you have changed anything on this journey of your weight loss? And what would it be?
Probably done the surgery sooner. Because I think people fear because it's when they hear surgery and you're going under. But over time, the medical profession has made it so that they have minimized the risks over time.
How many kgs have you lost?
Now, as at yesterday, I was 130.
Wow.
So that's 34.
Wow, impressive.
Yeah. 34 kgs.
But how much did you spend on this?
So it's a range. So there are different. I will say this. It is, first of all, it is an investment that you have to. You don't have to. Well, so it's a range. You can either from 900,000 to 1.5. You can also decide to do it in country, locally, or you can do it abroad.
So the same.
No, of course, abroad is definitely going to be more, but there are people who go because either they want the privacy and they just want, they believe that abroad is better. You know, there are different reasons.
Why did you choose to go through this publicly?
Because I think people need to talk about it more. People need to talk about it more. I think people, especially for bariatric surgery, people feel like, and I think it's also because of where we are as a country, where we have, you know, different problems in terms of the economy. So if you're online and you say, I went to this surgery and I paid $10,000, someone's like, aye, they are mad at you, not because you made the decision to bet your life, but because how can this guy have a lose 10,000 just to spend for this surgery? But this is, it's like I'm paying a premium for my life. If I don't, then again, the currency to pay for it again is my life. So I think people need to not be ashamed of doing the surgery because it helps, it works. Also, it gives me an opportunity to talk about body shaming because I went through a lot of that as well. Because, like I always say, you know, after you've written your comment and you've gone, I get to live with my body. I can't take a break and say, all right, body, we chill up, I'll come for you. I'm a kako bench pale nitakusab. You know, I don't get to take a break. I live with my body 24 hours a day. And I see, and I don't like what I see. So even you telling me that, it doesn't help because I already know. But they imagine I know everything. So as you remind me, also, check. And people are full of so many things that they're going through. And sometimes I understand that, you know, there's no really an excuse, but sometimes people have gone through so much. Even with my job, you know, people always think, jamaa anakuja na anapiga kelele, 10 over 10 na analipwa. And yet you're grinding, boss amekustress hapo, you're working 8 to 5, uko na targets, hata mimi niko na targets. Hata mimi I have to structure and plan the show. But just because you see me laughing and enjoying myself on the show, that is the end. You're coming when the credits are rolling. In the beginning, the structure, what you've had to do to put that show on air, the battles we've had to fight, and you know, the people have to call and the babysitting we've had to do, etc. All of that comes to putting the show together, you see it as ha laughing. So then you react to that because that's not where you are. So again, you see, I've done the surgery and you're like, you spend all this money, pesa yote, especially in the beginning, because sometimes, like for me, I was fortunate enough to have, like by the time I did the surgery, like a month later, I'd lost already 14 kgs. But for some people, it may not be as immediate because people's bodies are different. So sometimes you could be in a gathering and someone goes, "Nai kitu ulifanya? Kwani haifanye kazi?" You know, and yet it is over time. In fact, gradual weight loss is the best. That's what this surgery also helps. Like 3 to 5 kgs every month. As you're losing that is the best. So it is for people to be patient with themselves and to stop bullying people about their weight. They imagine, they know. You know, after I did this surgery, my DMs were full. Either with wives asking for their husbands or men asking about it. I had politicians, some of my friends, I had random strangers ask me about the surgery, the dangers, how it felt, the questions you're asking me. So, and then funny, there are about 4 of those people who are walinitusi kwa comment, but kwa DM they're asking me about, lakini kusema tu kweli ilikuwa aje? You know, and I also want to do it, and what can I do? I don't have the money and all that stuff. And that's why I'm saying you can save. You can make it your priority. You can put it in a box and get there. You can, I don't know, you can do things, you know. I wouldn't advise people to do with their money, but this should be a priority. Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned about kuendeleza census.
Yes, kuendeleza census.
And we're back to the interesting bits.
Now, lazima tuendeleza census.
Tell me about, first of all, congratulations on your engagement.
Thank you.
Are we going to hear any wedding bells this year? Yes or no? Golden dollar question.
Well, interesting question.
That needs an answer.
Yes.
You will say this.
Yes.
Wow.
This year definitely.
This year definitely.
Yes.
Do you want to share the month with us?
The
We'll
month
be on the lookout.
is going to be between January and
December.
There will be
Either way, we are
something as a
watching.
prophet.
So wedding bells, definitely 2023.
Definitely, yes. Okay.
All right, Willis, who's your hero?
My hero is my father.
Oh, nice.
Yes, Peter
Why is
Otieno
that?
Raburu, because he have the ability to show me what it means to work, to be strict, and over the years he's been, is it called malleable, where you can change. It's very hard for traditional men to change, but over the years my dad, he might not understand what exactly you're doing, but he might not react, you know, the way you want at the beginning, but over time he's been able to change, and that to me I think is the true mark of a hero. So my dad is my hero. Yes,
That's nice.
Yeah.
All right, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Anywhere with Ivy Namu.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
All right, what's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear, number one, is spiders. If it's animals, for some reason I just don't understand why something can have more than 2 legs
And look
or
so
4,
ugly at the same
and
time.
I'm not eating. This one has 8 legs, and it's not just attributed to spiders. Like, no, like I just like dream tarantula, black widow. What's a black widow enjoy when it had sex with the male inaimaliza? What kind of
Died.
inafinya kila kitu?
Akia.
You know, it has sex and then it eats the male. So spiders.
All right.
My other biggest fear is not being able to provide for my family.
And that motivates you.
Yeah, that motivates me. Yeah. Well, people
a
say
good
you should
fear.
not be motivated like that, but yeah, that's one.
It's a good motivation. It's a good fear. All right, what's your favorite family vacation idea or destination?
Dubai, Seychelles, America because of my brother, and Bali, and Maldives. Although I've recently been told that hizi places hakuna kitu kingine ziko nayo apart from maji. But nataka kuona hiyo maji, at least nione maji blue, niogelee, nione kama naweza ikunywa na itani affect vipi.
Aje.
Naam.
Interesting. All right, what would you change about your past if you could?
About my past? I don't think I'd change anything. I know it sounds very, oh my God,
I know.
to say, but really, today morning, I don't know when this will air, but on a Tuesdays I have a show where there's a gentleman called Shatta Boy who I've grown to love and cherish. So Shatta said something. He said that over your life, you get to a point where now you know, when you're born into a family, you are operating by the rules and regulations of that family.
Yeah.
For example, in our family, when you're going to campus, my dad says if you had sex, you'll die. I realized that
It's not true.
it's not true. You know, I died.
Dad is watching this with
I mean, it's true. This is things I've told him. So after a while, you realize that was them.
Yeah.
Then you get into a workplace and they have a set rules. You get into different places, everywhere has their rules. Then now you get to a point where you want to start discovering yourself. And now, however, who you are has been built up by all these things.
Yeah.
So would I have done some things differently? Probably. But I wouldn't change it because who I am today, every bit of knowledge I know and everything is because of the things that I've gone through. And if I can help other people and help my son and daughter to navigate better life because of the things I've gone through, then that becomes my purpose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You mentioned about forgiving yourself.
Right.
Have you forgiven your ex for whatever?
I mean, I forgave my ex a long time ago. I mean, because the things that maybe she did or was going through, again, like I told you, over life, you go through different things. So I am not one to hold something over somebody. So yeah, definitely.
Good, that's really good.
Yeah.
All right, my final question. What makes you really angry?
2 things.
Wow.
Okay? Let me even say,
Allah.
Anyway, 2 things that make me angry. One, when I've paid for service and I don't get value for the service.
The money.
Okay? Hello, internet providers. And government.
It's a tall order.
Number 2, when I see people taking advantage of other people or people taking advantage of me, yeah, that makes me angry. And I may not tell you today, there was an interesting quote that my fiancé linked to me. It was on Bright, the IT guru Bright. Akasema the challenge of having a big heart is people think you're stupid until you cut them off. Sasa mimi ni hao watu. Mimi nitacheka na wewe kabisa, lakini kesho napiga nothing.
Cut off.
Away, because you know what you're doing. You know you're taking advantage of me. I will try to voice it. Keyword there is try. But nikiona huyu jamaa na hisia zake tu na miaka yake tu na kwa karne hii ya 21 bado ana behave hivi, and I have a list. I keep saying I have a black book.
Lakini niliona list ulituma ya watu wenyewe.
I have a black book that has 5 people, and beware if you're on that list, because number 1 is the devil. People who hata nikipata sijui umeanguka wapi ama unafanya nini siku zaidi, and people don't know they're on that list. There are people who are my friends or my friends and don't know they're on that list. So I keep updating narab naongeza okay sasa ziko sita.
It's a small prison.
Okay, yeah. There are people who will never but number 1 ni shetani. So ujue kwa list moja na shetani. And then I also have another list of people who as God continues to help me and I grow and I expand and hopefully make more money, people who I will who have made my life's mission, that I must help them. Like I must grow with them. Yeah. They must, if we are eating in the King's Palace, they must be the invited guests. They must be with me there. They must make money as well. They must succeed because I succeed.
That's really
so I have those 2 lists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Haya, final word to subscribers.
Kwa watu kwa habari yenu, Mungu awabariki sana. Sasa I just like to say this. Wow. There's different things that people go through in life, and you probably watching and you're going through your own issues that are not, probably you've not told anybody about. There's a prayer that when my dad taught me when he was teaching me how to pray, he said, meet the people at the point of their need, because my need may not be somebody else's need. I had somebody else pray and say, answer even the silent prayers. They're those things that you don't tell people, but you whisper it just before you sleep, or it's just a thing that I wish this guy would change, or I wish I would have this money or this job, or I wish I would stop this addiction. Just things that you don't tell in many people. First of all the things that you're going through are valid. All your pain is valid. All your angst and tears is valid. But I just like to let you know that there is hope. It's not the end. I think you should look at every day as a day that every day you wake up and move on, you're closer and closer to the end of your problem. Seek help. If you need professional help and therapy, seek professional help and therapy. If you need doctors to help you out, to figure out where you are in life, by all means, visit Viva Serenity. If you need spiritual guidance, go to your pastor, go to your imam, go to whatever your spiritual leader is, and talk to them. But believe in yourself. Don't give up, because life gets better. And don't carry people. Usibebe watu. Ndio nasemanga wabebe.
I was about to say sio hivyo.
Lakini sio hivyo. Usibebe watu kwa roho, usibebe watu, maishani, like just let them go. It's hard, it's easier said than done, of course. But even as you're going through that process, give yourself time. You might relapse. You might still go back and check out their social media pages. You might still go back to that addiction. You might still smoke today if you say you won't smoke. You might still eat that fried chicken even if Dr. Theo told you not to. You might still go against what your therapist said, but be easy on yourself, because like I always say, successful people look like you, and most importantly, God loves you, and that will never change. Don't let anybody lie to you. Whether you'll watch this and you're watching from a brothel, whether you are just on your phone and you're on Koinange Street about to get a mteja, whether you are in church, wherever you are, God loves you, and that will never change. He's not a man. He doesn't look at you through the lens of a man. He looks at you through somebody who he created and loves over and over again, no matter how many mistakes you make. Whether you're even watching this in prison, Mungu anakupenda tena sana, na usisahau hiyo. Yes, sir. So I'm rooting for you, and we are all going to be a success, and I'll meet you at the top.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Asante.
When you look at the whole process, would you say there are risk factors involved in this, and what are they?
Yes. In Africa, we say msichana mzuri akosi kasoro.
Really?
So it's not risk averse, though the beauty of this is science evolves on a daily basis, and science continues evolving and changing over time. And it's not a procedure where somebody comes with a shock and panga and chop and chop. Like watatoa tumbo yangu wakate. No, it's done in a professional way.
Yeah.
And it's not invasive. Like there are not so many needles and threads and and knives. No, there are advancement in technology where you can even just do the surgery through very tiny incisions, what we call laparoscopy. Very tiny incisions, like you may have maybe 1 or 2 incisions to do for the surgery. It's computer aided and those kind of things. So the risk of having a lot of cards and everywhere. One day somebody looks like, hey, nini, unakuanga jambazi. The big scar, no, we don't have those big scars. There are people who are so much concerned about their beauty, wellness. Like, we don't want a scar on my tummy. So you don't get big scars, you see. So that's the first beauty. Like, you can do it with the less invasive procedures. Just tiny holes, and then you're done. Number 2, the other risk factor that some people may get is acid reflux, which is manageable. We have dumping syndrome. When you introduce food very fast, is manageable. The other thing that you might get, maybe for example, when you take so much food, you might get, pains, because now the stomach is this tiny, and you have the whole platter.
Yeah.
But before you get to that point, it won't really happen, because now you have the professionals to walk you through. So that you know how to eat right, what to eat. The other thing that sometimes you may get is what we call micronutrient deficiencies, because remember we've reduced the amount of absorption. So maybe you're absorbing less. But we have supplementations, we have professional supplements that we recommend to you. At Viva Serenity, we work with healthcare partners who give us the right supplements for our patients so that they don't get into issues of micronutrient deficiencies. So the risks are there, they are minimal.
Thank you so much for sharing all this information with us. And as you know, we're always going to pin this information on the pinned comment for you to reach out to these people and seek the help that you need. Please keep your health a priority, because that is your wealth. Well, a special thanks to Baraza Media Lab for giving us such a spacious and nice and serene place to host our show from. We appreciate you, and would like to urge everyone who's looking for a beautiful place to host a meeting, this is the place. Thank you so much for watching till the end of the show. My name is Yvonne Kawira, and until next time, keep it Tuko.